right across the river from New York at the Fest for Beatle Fans 2025. How's it going out there? Just got done with the auction in the ballroom. 2 items. Won this third state West Coast butcher cover for under $500 in the auction. And won this Let It Be Canadian box set for a little over $200 with the 1970 with the record and a real nice condition book of the Get Back book. What do you think? Had to buy something in the auction. Auction wasn't too
Daniel Castillo wants to know if you're having a great time.
Yep, having a great time. How you doing, Daniel? Got this amazing little thing from Uncle Paul's Pop Playhouse. Uncle Paul gave me a t-shirt.
I did that.
No, no.
All right.
I was trying to get the second message.
You like that? But I got something from Uncle Paul that the McCartney fans there had never seen. When they were deciding who was going to win the Emmy Awards in 1973, they put out this folder to all the voters for James Paul McCartney TV special. It opens up, tells who was in the band. It says, the musical impact of Paul McCartney and Wings reverberating throughout the world is captured in this one-of-a-kind special, the only television special of Paul McCartney and Wings. James Paul McCartney featuring Wings. And on the back, it's got all the titles of the songs in the TV special. But you imagine that all the voters that got this sent out in 1973, surely 98% of them were just thrown away after they voted. Pretty rare piece. On the back it says songs, production numbers, Big Barn Ben, Medley, Blackbird, Michelle, Heart of the Country by Paul, Mary Had a Little Lamb by Paul and Wings, Little Woman Love, Paul and Wings, Sea Moon, Paul and Wings, My Love, Paul and Wings, Uncle Albert, Paul, the Liverpool Pub Medley, Long Way to Tipperary, April Showers, California Here I Come, Pack Up Your Troubles and You Are My Sunshine, Paul and Pub Friends and Relatives, Gotta Sing, Gotta Dance, Paul Dancers. I know that some of that's a little bit tricky. They had somebody doing the Paul McCartney dancing. Live and Let Die by Paul and Wings, Roger Moore on film, medley of When I'm 64, this was in the pub, medley, When I'm 64, Hard Day's Night, Can't Buy Me Love, She Loves You, Obla Di, Obla Da, Yesterday, and Yellow Submarine, and The Mess, Paul and Wings, The Encore, and Maybe I'm Amazed, and Well, That's the End of Another Day, Paul, and Yesterday at the End, Paul. So it's a pretty cool little promo piece. What do you think?
Are you doing that, me? You're doing. You gotta get
Questions?
Daniel, go ahead.
Daniel Castillo said, Mikey asked why you need the butcher. The butcher.
He said it during when I made that thing. He said, "Why'd your dad need that butcher?"
What, when I want it?
Yeah. And when I was making that video.
I can't peel the West Coast butcher covers. I'm always intrigued. Tell such a story. I couldn't let it go for under $500. Rockaway Records put it up. Gary Johnson, or Wayne Johnson from Rockaway put this in the auction. He put the Let It Be box set up in the auction too. It's a flat type of color on the box where the UK box, outer box has a glossy. See if I can pull it out, see if it has the inner tray. Hallelujah. It's got the inner tray. No tears on the corners. He said it was pretty nice. It is. All right, Wayne Johnson.
All right, bring it up.
What's the question?
Wait, my messages ain't showing up.
Alright, Daniel said he's doing great, Frank. Dan said Gators going to the Final Four. Thomas Crook said hi, Frank.
How you doing, Thomas Crook?
How are things at the fest?
Pretty nice, pretty good. A pretty good turnout. When we saw Mark Lapidus a couple times, I think he's pretty happy.
And that's a pristine box set, Daniel Castillo said.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel.
Johnny Ramone asked, where's the crew? Mikey, Joe Mayo, or Uncle Paul?
They're all tired. I think Mikey's already gone to sleep, and I think Joe's getting something to eat with Robert S. And Uncle Paul's is taking a break, and maybe they're all going to take a nap, and we'll see him at the Liverpool show here in an hour. The Liverpool concert's going to have a special guest, Jim McCartney from the Yardbirds, and the man from what group? I don't know.
No, that
The
was
drummer?
No, there's another.
This is the book.
I'm not coming up with the program.
The Ringo and the.
Somebody out there might know. We got. I figured out on these Yellow Submarine tickets. They're rarer than I thought. I had 13 of them. I'm down to 6 now. On these premier tickets I got from Hull, Massachusetts, when they cleaned out a house near an old movie theater near southeast of Boston. But what's really rare about these, besides they got the ticket stub on the bottom, if you look on the internet, all the printing on all the California and everything is all vertical, where the printing on these is horizontal. So I think that's a pretty rare piece that I got a hold of these 13 tickets in a house cleanup in Hull, Massachusetts. I sold a few today to my Mexico buyers. I think I sold 7 to them. Mikey Arugula got a couple. And if you saw that 11-year-old boy, Jackie, what's his name? Jack, that knows everything about the Beatles at 11 years old, I thought he deserved to have one of them. And he was tickled to death when I gave him one. So the other one we have behind Jim McCartney, we have Simon Kirk from Bad Company is going to be on tonight. And somebody said that Larry Kane that interviewed Paul and John when they came to New York in 1968, and the author of Ticket to Ride, he is here. So that'd be interesting to see him talk.
Daniel said you got a nice view from your room. Yes,
Yeah.
we do. The morning view was beautiful.
Yeah.
Mr. Beatles Pro said Simon Cook. He came through
Yeah.
with it.
All right. Way to go, Tom. Tom, we're going to see you at Liverpool tonight in an hour. Going to go to the concert with us?
Daniel says, tell us more about the 11-year-old fan. He wants to know more about
11-year-old fan. I didn't see all the, everybody was talking to the kid. I saw what he had, and I was trying to give him little pointers on butcher covers and to put the record behind the cover. He was putting it straight into a Beatles and Frank Ifield, a 61-year-old cover, and I explained to him that it needs to be behind the cover to not to give any seam splits. And I showed him how to read the dead wax on Monarch Records on his portrait cover, or on his Beatles and Frank Ifield. I taught him a lot about VJ, and I gave him some lessons on picture sleeves too. So the kid really wants to learn. He says his number one goal in life on collecting is to get a hold of a butcher cover at 11 years old. Isn't that amazing? He was there with his father. He knows a lot more about the Beatles than his father does. He watches a lot of our videos. So shout out there to Jack. When our first generations are long and gone, Jack's gonna hold the Beatle flag. Way to go, Jack.
Johnny Ramone said hello to Gary Astrid. Get his book on Ringo Beats the Threads.
Beats and Threads. I think he might be here at the fest.
Dan Johnson said, how much are you selling the tickets for?
The tickets, I have 6 of them left. They are numbered from 467 up to 474. $50 a piece shipped to my STICKERMANIA. Where's my card?
Yeah, because we don't have.
Show the card, my Yahoo address.
Why is my chat not working?
I gotta get what's not so blurry.
Mr. _STICKERMANIA at yahoo.com. If you want one of these 6 tickets left of the 13 I had of a house cleanup in Boston, Hull, Massachusetts, rare, with the ticket stub on there and the printing in a different direction than 95% of them. All the West Coast were made different than these ones from Massachusetts. $50 to my PayPal account, and I will send you one shipped.
Daniel Castillo said, Mike from the iGroove told me about putting records behind covers. Mr. Beatles Pro said, skip today, be there tomorrow, took the family to Manhattan.
All right, he wanted to do that. Way to go, Tom Beatles Pro. You did your family duty. And this rare McCartney piece that nobody at the fest has ever seen is $150 shipped. Promo for James Paul McCartney TV special from 1973. It even has the ITC, which was the man that owned a lot of the rights to the Beatles songs for a long time. I'm not coming up with his name, but I'm sure Tom Beatles Pro knows the answer of who owned ITC in England. I think John Lennon made a funny video about him where he was wearing 2-sided mask heads. Can't come up with a name right now, Tom. I know you'll know it.
Brandon, what's up, bud?
Got some questions before I show a few more things?
Dan in Florida, do you put the record behind the cover on all your collectibles? I've never done that.
Yes. The record's always behind the cover.
Gordon Teets, good evening family.
Led Zeppelin 1, the record behind the cover. Some Girls, UK First Press, the record behind the cover. A Sterling pressing. Until you play the UK presses of a lot of these albums, you haven't heard the true magic until you get the UK first pressings. When I bought a UK first pressing of Band on the Run that Dave Evans bought for me, I never knew that Bluebird was such a terrific song until I heard that UK pressing. It ranks up there, right there with Band on the Run and Jet and Let Me Roll It. Bluebird and that true acoustic audiophile sound, I fell off my chair.
Brandon, you didn't read
Mr.
it.
Beatles Pro, how much not shit for the McCartney?
McCartney,
He keeps asking.
you want this Tom Beatles Pro? You want to pick it up tomorrow, not shipped? You got to give me $135. Tom Beatles Pro. Do we have a deal?
Johnny Ramone, are there any Hollywood Bow standees 1978 at the fest?
No, I did not see a Hollywood Bowl standee. There's a lot of anthology. That seems to be what they're pushing now because they know a deluxe box set done by Peter Jackson coming out at the end of the year. It'll be all over Disney Plus, and we're going to have to spend $500, $1,000 for a deluxe anthology box set. But you know us Beatleheads will buy it as soon as it comes out.
Mr. Beatles Pro said, "Yep, I'll take it."
All right. So the Tom Beatles Pro. Nobody's seen one before. Tom is the happy new owner of this promo piece for James Paul McCartney. Sorry, Tom from Two Legs. I know you wanted it too. You should have made me an offer.
Daniel Castillo, what's the most impressive thing you've seen so far?
Impressive thing I've seen so far. The auction didn't have too much impressive. I thought I got the best two pieces.
Probably the 9/11 memorial.
No, we went to the 9/11 memorial. We took the train underneath the river. Right?
Subway under there.
Yeah, the subway underneath the river today, and you get there in what, 5-7 minutes?
Yeah, it was fast.
And then we went to the World Trade Memorial Center, and we had headphones and a little phone, and we spent an hour in there, and it hits you hard. I couldn't look at everything because it reminded me too much of my mortality to see all that, what happened that day, 9/11.
Right.
Show a few more things, come up with some questions. We'll probably not be on here too long, at least a half hour, because we got some more Fest for Beatle fans to attend.
What is it?
Meet the Beatles, the first pressing stereo. When they couldn't meet the demand, they weren't factory sealed. You see that in Beatles 64 documentary where he's selling them as fast as he can, not factory shrink. As soon as he can get the cash, he gives a Beatles album to the lucky girl or fan, and he's got a Beatles wig on in the documentary selling these. So Sears put that baggie on there to protect it. And this is the first pressing that pretty rare with no ASCAP or BMI after the song titles. You know, the stereos are about 8 times rarer than monos. And a story to be told about the Beatles radio that I sold, that I bought, that I showed, or the 1964 Beatles radio I had in the shipping box from Japan. Perry Cox bought that from me, and Ron in the dealer's room, nobody recognized me too much or said too much, Mr. STICKERMANIA at the fest, until I went to the 9th floor and I went into the marketplace. And all of a sudden, these dealers all the way around the room, they go, "STICKERMANIA, Mr. STICKERMANIA." And I go, wow. They knew who I was. I guess a lot of them had bought from me before. But Ron, a dealer, he knew about the Pepsi radio that I sold to Perry Cox. And he actually called Perry Cox at the marketplace. And within 90 seconds, Perry Cox answered the phone and said that Beatles, that 1964 Pepsi radio made in Japan, in the shipping box from Japan that works perfect, that he's going to keep it for his private collection. Shout out to Perry Cox. You are my mentor. You're the one why I got on eBay. As long as you're on eBay, I'll be on eBay.
Dan Johnson's where you at.
Was it Neil?
Neil, yeah.
Alright. I need to start looking for Neil Young or CSN items.
Neil Young and CSN items. Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young. I have a few. I will show them in the Wednesday, the next live stream. I'll show you with the Neil Young that I have. I saw Neil Young in concert once, way back, I think in the 80s. And he's pretty amazing. You know, the thing that really hits me hard on Neil Young is when Jimmy Fallon came out on the Tonight Show, and he was dressed up as Neil Young, and he was on one side of this little thing that turned around, and Neil Young was on the other side, and they took turns singing Old Man. Am I saying the right song? Pretty sure. Neil Young and Jimmy Fallon. I mean, Jimmy Fallon can really impersonate those rock stars. He gives it his all.
Alright. Daniel Castillo, what a bummer they don't have gems in auction.
They used to.
Mr. Beatles Pro, The Path. He was talking about the subway.
Yeah, the subway. The path. The path's what we went on, the subway path.
Daniel Castillo, the 9/11 conspiracy. Oh my God. Conspiracy theorists will have a field day.
Laugh out loud.
Yeah. They didn't got
Uncle
this.
Paul said hi, Frank.
How you
Had a
doing,
great
Uncle
time
Paul?
with
It's nice
you.
to spend time with you today.
Johnny Ramone said, any bootlegs?
Bootlegs, I saw a few, but not very many.
And then George,
Shout out to Annular and Carlos. They bought us lunch today at the Fest for Beatle fans. And Carlos was an interpreter. And I learned a lot about Annular in his Beatles collection. He has amazing
Them and Mike
Beatles
hanging
collection.
out right now together in the
What?
Them and Mike Hickey are hanging out together in the marketplace.
Who is?
Mikey and the Mexican.
All right, so right now in the marketplace we have Mikey Arugula hanging out with Angular and Carlos. So we'll only be on here another 10 minutes because I want to go hang out with them too.
George Music for All 4 Seasons said hello to all.
How you do, George? From Music for All Seasons, you've been making some good comments on a few of my video shorts, YouTube shorts. I appreciate that.
Daniel Castillo said they bought the 4K lunchbox.
The lunchbox has not sold yet. I sent an offer out at $3,500 for the lunchbox and the thermos and the girls' brunch bag. You somebody's interested in that, I will take $3,300 to my YouTube channel, PayPal and friends. He's gonna, my son, the director's camera is gonna show the YouTube thing again. Gonna show some Butcher covers and my Badfinger autographs.
Joseph Mentino said, how's the Butcher albums going?
Butcher's albums, Ron at the dealer's marketplace has a first date for $8,000. And by the way, this is my first date stereo in the shrink. About a 7.5, excellent condition. I think the Mexican guys are interested in this with a COA from Heritage Auctions and a real nice pressing of the East Coast stereo pressing. So Ron had his mono at 8,000 and my stereo in the shrink is 20,000. Number 3 is still in the factory shrink. You're not going to see many first date Butcher covers in the shrink. And you can see there's a little space there after Ringo's smock down on that right corner. That shows you that this cover was never trimmed, never pasted over.
Dave Evans said, hi Frank, I'm sure you are enjoying yourself.
Without finished, yes we are, Dave Evans, thanks. Be on here 10 more minutes, you got some questions.
Daniel Castillo going to dinner with Angela, I can't say it.
Annular and Carlos and Mikey Arugula. The Mexican Annular and Carlos,
Angela.
they've already promised to buy us dinner, so we better take them up on that. So this West Coast Butcher cover that I got with a pink interior, if you can see that.
Right there. If you go up, take it up like you had it. Yeah, there you go.
So this is already sold at the fest. I'll give you guys 3 guesses who bought this from me. Let's see who gets that right first.
George Music for All Season, for All 4 Seasons said, thank you, love what you do in your channel.
Yep, I got a lot of compliments at the marketplace that they like. I have kids involved, and that I'm pretty honest. I'm not afraid to voice my opinion, and I got a lot of compliments at the marketplace from the big dealers. So who bought this
Daniel
yesterday for $1,500?
Daniel Castillo said Angela or Carlos bought it.
No, that is wrong.
Doc Dockett said Mark bought it.
Nope. One more question.
Daniel
You guys
Castillo.
ought to know who I hang out with. Who
Daniel
bought it?
Castillo said Mikey Arugula.
Mike Arugula, that's it. You win the prize, except I don't have a prize tonight. Oh, who was it that won it? Was it Daniel Costello?
Yeah.
I guess my trivia question prize is one of these tickets, Daniel. Do you want me to send you one of these unused Hard Days Night tickets with the vertical printing from the Bayside Theater in Hull, Massachusetts? That's your prize for the trivia question.
He said, sir.
All right. Now I got 5 left. Way to go, Daniel. You are fast on the trivia questions. We get to, what we got, 23, 5. I think we're 140 subscribers left. We get to 3,000. No, we get to 2,500, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to give away, with 3 difficult questions again about the butcher cover. I'll give away this one I won the auction. The West Coast Stereo Starter Butcher cover, but you can see the 4 Beatle faces, and you can even see the baby's head on the bottom. That's usually real tough to peel on the bottom of a West Coast butcher cover. Ron in the dealer's room said that he hasn't figured out how to peel the West Coast butcher covers, and he asked if I have. I said no. He said, one of the guys came up to me, he said they sent a West Coast butcher cover to Jim Hansen, and he peeled up a small corner of it, and it had a stain, and he sent it back, and he said it's too hard to peel.
Daniel said, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. One more butcher cover. I sold 4 butcher covers this week. At the last count, I might be 5. The last peeled third state I have left is this number 3 Scranton that I will sell for $1,500. Butcher cover week. This one, the butcher cover is never going to go down in desire, value. The demand that Jack proved at 11 years old that they'll be buying these butcher covers for years and years to come. Badfinger autographs. Not too many people have a Badfinger set of autographs from the early 70s when they toured the United States all over. Pete Ham, Mike Gibbons, a real long signature. Joey Mullen is tough to, he did a green ink. It's tough to see that. But Tom Beatles Pro said the hardest one to find and a real nice autograph is Tom. He wrote Thomas. He just wrote Thomas Evans. He wrote his whole name, Thomas Evans. That's a cool little piece. Somebody's interested in this. $500 shipped for a set of original, authentic, all 4 original members of Badfinger. I got a couple more picture sleeves to show.
Do these, hold on real quick. Do the 3
All
comments.
right. Barbara H said, super live stream. Have a great dinner. Enjoy the fest.
Thanks, Barbara H.
Jeff McCoy, hi Frank. I'll take one of the movie tickets.
All right, Jeff McCoy, make sure you guys know I gotta need your address sent to my or put it on my send me a message so I can send you a PayPal request.
Daniel Castillo, I noticed you and Mikey had a few beers together.
The Mexican Annular and Carlos was drinking beers. I didn't see Mikey drink a beer, and I don't drink anymore.
Yeah, Mikey, I think he had something. I don't know if he had beer or what. He
I
had
don't
something.
I could be wrong.
Joseph Mentino, how much is the Hard Days Night tickets?
Yeah, he
$50
had water.
shipped.
You're right. He had water.
I have 5 left. You won't see these again. I checked 100 listings of these Hard Days Night tickets and never saw the printing that direction with the whole stub not removed. Pristine, was buried in a house for 60 years in Hull, Massachusetts. Pretty amazing find. $50 each. I got 5 left. $467 to $474. See that right there? Tripping in the hotel room. Way to go, Frank. That is a pretty cool
Speed
piece.
it back a little bit.
The more research I've done,
Nope, come in. There you go, right. Oh,
nobody has them like that.
It was clear. It's good.
You better hurry. There's only 5 left.
Joseph said he'll take 2.
2. Now there's 3 left. Joseph Mantino getting 2 of them.
Barb was buying one too.
Barb's buying 1. There's 2 left.
Daniel said
Who wants the last 2? Any takers?
Dan Johnson asking ship to Canada.
Ship to Canada. That would be $55.
Joseph Mantino, should I email you?
Yes.
We should have Joseph, but yeah,
I think we have your address, Joseph Mantino, but send us an email. You sent us a lot of comments. All right, 2 more things to show that the Mexico buyers might buy here in the next hour. The Beatles, We Wish You a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, original 1964 VJ. Christmas sleeve, they put the oldies but goodies records in here. It's got the normal glue lines, but you want that because if they don't have the glue lines, it's a counterfeit. Price on that is $200 shipped if I don't sell it in the next hour.
Mikey Arugula, hey Frank.
Mikey Arugula will be down there in 10 minutes. And the VJ EP souvenir of their visit to America. $450 shipped to my YouTube channel with a promo record with Ask Me Why in big letters. And the second song is Anna. You can hardly see Anna. They were really pushing Ask Me Why at the time. Excellent condition with Misery and Taste of Honey on the back. $450 shipped.
Dan Johnson said I'll take 1. I'm guessing he's talking about the ticket.
Ticket. 1 left. 1 left. I'm on the live stream until somebody buys the last ticket.
Barbara 8 said I'll email you, Frank. Hey, get some New York pizza before you leave.
All right.
Yeah.
Who wants the last ticket? I guess I'm gonna keep 1 for myself if I don't sell it right now. I learned a lesson like the Remco doll boxes. Nobody has one but the 4 I had. Should have never sold all 4 of them. The last one sold. Empty cardboard shipping box sold for $2,000. I had somebody interested in it. Says, how much do you want for that last shipping box you have? Cardboard shipping box of the Remco dolls. I had the breakdown of 3 John, 3 George, 7 Ringo, and 11 Paul. I told him $2,000, and so he says, you're nuts. And 2 hours later, he says, I'll take it.
Not really coming up. I might have to write it. It's kind of bloody, but it's Mr. Stickermania, Mr._Stickermania at yahoo.com.
All right, we sold all the tickets but 1. We sold this to Beatles Pro. Let's see if we can go find him so he can pick up his James Paul McCartney promo for the Emmy Awards. Only the voters would have got this with really nice pictures of Paul dressed up with the dancers for Gotta Sing, Gotta Dance. And it has all the lists.
Mikey asked if you saved his. Is that Mikey's or John's?
No, Mikey, I have your 2.
I thought you already gave him.
Quit sweating it, Mikey. Come on. You're one of the biggest buyers I got. Jones, I better not talk about Joan. And then ITC, Tom Beatles Pro, who owned some of the Beatle rights to their songs and owned ITC in England. And John Lennon made fun of him in the slipping and sliding video. Come on, guys. What's the trivia question? What's his name? I know what it is. Lou? Something Lou? It's coming to me. I just don't have his whole name.
Dan Johnson, just email us at Mr._Stickermania.com or at yahoo.com and he'll give you the PayPal through there.
Led Zeppelin to end this off with.
Lou Reed.
No, it's not Lou Reed.
Jeff McCoy said, by the way, I love the little Richard Picture Slave EP. What
All right, thanks. Little Richard. Nobody's bought my, what's my skiffle group guy?
Thomas Crook, Sir Lewis Grade.
Sir Lou, that's it. Sir Lou Grade. I had one name right. Sir Lou Grade is the man that Lennon didn't like, and he owned ITC, but Sir Lou Grade gave permission to do the James Paul McCartney TV special. So I guess John had people that were on his side, like the head of Rolling Stone, and McCartney had some people on his side. Sir Lou Grade, boy, I'm glad we came up with that. My favorite Led Zeppelin album now, Led Zeppelin 1. The UK plum and red pressing. Sounds amazing. All right, I gotta go see Mikey Arugula. Thanks for checking in with us. I guess we were on a half hour.
36 minutes.
We did this quick and appreciate you making comments. And we gotta go join this, enjoy this little thing in Jersey City because we're heading back tomorrow.